Hey guys, so this hive is one that I split from another hive last year and it's been overwintering. We're about 3 weeks away from the end of winter and coming on to spring. So a couple of warm days is a good time for us to get into the hives and have a bit of a look. There's been a lot of activity around the front entrance and I can tell they're ready. They're ready to go bigger. So my plan is have a good look at the brood, and once that's done, I'll do a demarree split, which is basically putting an empty box downstairs with one frame of brood and the queen, and putting the full brood box on top above a queen excluder. Anyway, let's get into it. It's a bit windy today, so the girls aren't very happy. There's not an enormous amount of activity on top of this hive, but I did smoke them down prior to opening the lid. As usual, checking for the queen on the lid. So second frame out from the edge. Looks like they're ready. It's packed full of honey and some nectar down the bottom. I'll put that frame aside so I can get into the rest of it. The third frame in shows a really good brood pattern, solid, but with honey right up for the brood, tells me that they haven't got a lot of room for new eggs or larvae. Both sides, good brood pattern. Third frame in shows emerging brood, and judging by the colour, a lot more to come very quickly. Another solid brood pattern and plenty of bees. So now we're into the centre of the brood nest. I'd expect to see the largest amount of brood. And yep, there it is. That's a pretty solid brood pattern. These guys are going to need a new box soon. And you know what? I think today's the day. Next frame over, with the cappings a little bit lighter than the other frames, tells me that the brood is actually a bit younger. She's been laying up a treat though. Plenty of stores, good brood pattern, both sides. With this second last frame, we're getting towards the end of the brood nest, so obviously it's going to be a little bit smaller. But nevertheless, there's a good brood pattern, plenty of honey stores, and plenty of bees to look after that brood. Same on this side. This outside frame's always been a bit of a problem in this hive. These bees like to build comb up against the edge and fill it with honey, so removing it is always a problem. I have a plan to swap it out, but it hasn't happened yet. Soon. You can see how gnarly the comb is. They still use it. It just looks ugly. I might even harvest this one in a few weeks. I'm not going to film this part. It's a little bit complicated to film, but here it is. Completed. Queen underneath, queen excluder in the bottom box, brood on top. I'll keep you updated.